I thought space would make me stronger, but now I see that it's made me weaker. I've lost touch with what truly matters, and the distance has only highlighted my vulnerability. Space was supposed to be a chance for renewal, but all it's brought me is a deep sense of longing for something I didn't realize I could miss so much. I thought I needed distance to heal, but all I've done is let the wounds fester. The space I asked for has turned into the space I now regret. In wanting space, I thought I was making a choice for myself. But now I see it was a choice that led me further from the people and experiences that truly matter. I wanted space to grow, but I didn't realize that growth sometimes happens in the most unexpected places, in the moments where we're closest to those we care about. The space I thought would clear my mind has only clouded it. I find myself looking for answers in all the wrong places, only to realize that the answer was always right next to me. I wanted to be alone, but now I see that I've been alone all along. The space I created has only left me with a deeper sense of isolation than I ever imagined. I thought space would make me appreciate things more, but now I see that it's made me take everything for granted. I never realized how much I needed what I pushed away. The space I thought would give me clarity has only filled me with uncertainty. I wish I had known that sometimes the answer lies in staying, not running. I wanted space to figure things out, but instead, I've only created more questions. The silence that once felt peaceful now feels like a constant reminder of my own indecision. In my quest for space, I thought I was protecting myself, but now I see that I was only distancing myself from the love and connection I needed most. Space seemed like the right answer, but now I see that what I needed wasn't distance, it was connection. The regret I feel now is a reminder that sometimes we don't know what we need until it's too late. I wanted space to think, to breathe, but now I feel more trapped than ever in the very distance I thought would set me free. Space was supposed to help me heal, but now it feels like a reminder of what I've lost. I thought it would bring clarity, but all it's brought is more confusion. I wanted distance to escape the pressure, but now I realize that the pressure was not from others. It was from within myself, and now all I'm left with is emptiness. Space seemed like the solution, but now I see that the distance between us has only magnified the things I took for granted. I wanted space to figure out my thoughts, but now I find myself more confused than ever, wishing I had never asked for it in the first place. In wanting space, I didn't realize I was creating a distance that could never be bridged. Now, all I have is regret and the painful realization that I may have lost something I can never get back. I thought space would give me peace, but now it feels like a constant reminder of everything I wish I had done differently. I wanted space to heal, but now I see that healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in the presence of those we love and care about. I thought distance would give me perspective, but now I see that it only gave me a deeper sense of longing for the connection I once had. Space was supposed to be my escape, but now I realize it was my prison. I've trapped myself in the very distance I thought would set me free. I wanted space to breathe, but now I realize that I have suffocated the very relationship I needed most. The space I once sought now feels like a weight on my chest, a constant reminder that I may have pushed away the best thing in my life. In the distance, I thought I would find myself, but now I see that what I've found is a shadow of who I used to be. I wanted space to think, but all I've done is overthink, and in the process, I've lost touch with what truly matters. The more space I asked for, the more distant I became, and now I feel like I've lost not only the connection, but a part of myself. Space was supposed to make everything clearer, but instead, it's made me see how much I need the people and the moments I once took for granted. I thought I was giving myself room to grow, but instead I've left behind the things that mattered most, things that can never be replaced. I wanted space to get my life in order, but now I see that my life was never out of order. It was just a matter of perspective. I thought space would help me make better decisions, but now I see that it only delayed the inevitable realization that I was making the wrong choices all along. I wanted distance to clear my head, but now all I have is a heart full of regret and a mind filled with confusion. The space I thought I needed has only left me with an aching emptiness, a feeling that I may have given up something irreplaceable. There was a time when I needed distance to breathe, to think, to figure out what I truly wanted. But now I realize that in seeking space, I lost what mattered most, and the void left behind feels bigger than any distance I could ever have imagined. I thought that stepping back would give me clarity, but instead, it's left me with confusion and longing. I asked for space, but now I feel like I've given up something precious, something irreplaceable. Sometimes the need for space is driven by fear, fear of being too close or too vulnerable. But in the silence that follows, regret creeps in, and I find myself wondering if the distance was truly worth it. I once believed that space would help me heal, help me find myself again. But now, all I see is a mirror reflecting the absence I've created, and I wonder if I've lost more than I ever gained. In seeking space, I thought I was doing the right thing. Now, I'm left questioning whether that space was meant for growth or whether it was simply an escape from the fear of commitment and connection. The more space I took, the more distant I became from the person I once was. And now I find myself yearning for the connection that once felt so easy, yet I can't seem to find my way back. I wanted room to breathe, but I didn't realize that in creating distance, I was suffocating the very connection that made life meaningful. Now, I regret that decision more than I ever imagined. At first, the space felt like a relief, but now the silence has become deafening, and I wonder if the price of my freedom was the loss of something truly irreplaceable. I asked for space to figure things out, but all I found was the growing emptiness of what was left behind. The more I tried to create room for myself, the more I felt myself drifting away from everything I cared about. I thought space would bring peace, but now all I feel is the weight of regret. I wanted freedom, but it's the loneliness that has stayed, lingering long after the space was created. Space was supposed to be a temporary solution, a pause in time. But now it feels like the pause button has become the play button, and I find myself playing a game I never meant to start. I wanted space to clear my head, but instead my heart has become clouded with doubts. The quiet I sought has only brought noise, a constant reminder of what I've lost. What I once thought was a healthy distance has now become a chasm, one I can't cross. I wanted room to breathe, but I didn't realize I was creating room for regret. In wanting space, I thought I was taking control, but now I see that I was only losing it. The absence of everything I once cherished is a reminder of the choice I made. It's funny how a little space can feel so big, and how the distance that once felt comforting now feels like an insurmountable barrier to everything I miss. I needed time to myself, to reflect, to figure out where I was heading. But now I'm left wondering if that time was spent wisely or if I've just wasted the opportunity to be present in something meaningful. Space is supposed to give us clarity, but instead, it's left me with a haunting sense of loss. I thought I was gaining perspective, but all I've gained is the regret of being too distant. I wanted to be alone, but now I see that loneliness is not freedom. It's a form of isolation that slowly consumes the soul. The space I thought I needed has only left me yearning for connection. It's strange how we think we need space to grow, but sometimes growth happens in the closeness, in the moments we share. Now, I wish I hadn't created so much distance. I asked for space to breathe, but now I feel like I've been suffocated by my own decisions. The regret I feel is louder than any silence I could have created. The space I once wanted has turned into a prison of my own making. The more I distance myself, the more I realize that what I truly crave is closeness, connection, and understanding. I wanted space to understand myself better, but now I find myself lost in the distance, unable to find my way back to the person I once knew. The space I thought would heal me has only left me with more questions. I wanted answers, but instead, I find myself further from the truth than ever before. What seemed like a temporary retreat now feels like a permanent exile. The space I thought I needed has become a void, and I wonder if I'll ever feel whole again. I wanted space to find myself, but now I see that sometimes you don't find yourself by running away. You find yourself by staying, by embracing the mess of life and love. In the quiet that space provides, I've realized that what I was truly seeking wasn't solitude, but the connection I thought I could live without. And now I regret pushing it away.